to share a quick message with whoever is behind the screen. I am posting this video on all of my medias to share my personal opinion and belief in everything that is going on right now. It is up to young people and older people that look like me and don't look like me to use our platforms and our voices to speak up about things that we care about. As everyone knows, if you have any social media platform, many different people of color have been murdered and unjustly killed recently, and I do not agree with anything that has happened, and I am learning more information about everything that's happened and what I can do to help. One thing that I have done, besides repost the pictures and stuff on my stories and things like that, is have conversations with my close family members and pray for people who don't see eye to eye with people trying to do better and spread the word and abolish racism, essentially. Not only that, but I have also signed a few petitions. So I will be posting different things where you guys can sign the petitions so that those who did unjustly things to the people like Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and Breonna Taylor, they can face some type of consequence. And this is not out of hate, this is out of justice for those who can no longer speak for themselves. So with this video, I hope that you decide to do something with your voice. And this is something very different for me. I've never posted a video like this, but it's not something that is going to happen overnight. But with everyone's help, we can do something about this. So with all that being said, I hope that you are having a good day, and I hope that you just keep others in your prayers, and we learn to care about others more and use our voices and see what we can do as a nation. So thank you for listening to my message.
When 17-year-old Trayvon Martin died at the hands of George Zimmerman in 2012, protests sprung up around the country, demanding everything from changes to Florida's stand your ground laws to gun control.
When do our children get to just be children?
But one of the protests,
Black Lives Matter,
quickly took on a life of... The phrase Black Lives Matter was first coined in 2013 by 3 African-American women in response to George Zimmerman's acquittal. But the term didn't gain widespread use until August 9, 2014, when Michael Brown was shot and killed by a white police officer in Ferguson, Missouri.
So I stopped the video footage on this video to kind of talk more about why hashtag Black Lives Matter is so much more important than just the hashtag. This has been going on for over 7 years, and it has become a movement. It is a responsibility of not only people of color, but also non-people of color to stand together and not apart to make change happen. This is not something that happened overnight. This took years to develop into this type of brutality and injustice. I'm not God, I can't stop this, but with the help of others and with speaking up and peacefully protesting and finding different ways to help and support the cause instead of being silent and unsupportive, we will overcome this, and we have to keep believing in better, and that is what we are doing. That is what we are fighting for, so that people can live and breathe. And, you know, sleep in their houses without having to be scared that police will invade them and shoot them to death. So people can walk with Skittles in their pockets, so people can wear hoods, so people can live like humans and not have to fear from the people who are supposed to ensure the safety of others. So if you don't get anything from this video, I want you to get that this is an important cause and it is something that we can all contribute to. Do not have to be a person of color to contribute to this. So do not use misinformation. Don't use I'm not black or I'm not a person of color as an excuse to not stand up for something that you believe in. So share what you believe in and make sure to listen to everything this man is about to say.
The 26-year-old EMT, in a time of COVID, she was an essential worker, the kind of person that you and I would rely on if the worst happens and we got sick. Police executed a no-knock warrant on her apartment on March the 13th. The no-knock warrant is a slick way of saying they entered the apartment without announcing who they were in the middle of the night. Her boyfriend fired on them, thinking that it was a break-in. He called 911 saying he thought there was a break-in. Police returned fire, shooting more than 20 rounds at the apartment, 8 of which hit her, and she died right there. Now, there's been a number of changes made in the city since then to try to appease protesters, like getting rid of the no-knock warrants, but it shows you just the institutional problems here. People do not trust the police. Beyond that, they don't trust the process. All of this as shootings continue here. Last night, as you said, a man died in the parking lot behind me. Police are trying to determine what happened. There was, again, an exchange of gunfire, but this is a city that's feeling less and less safe every day. It's entering now its 5th day of protests very wearily as the worst happened last night. This is the 3rd shooting in just 4 days, Stephanie, and to put it into context, our local affiliate was reporting there's been a 150% increase in shootings year over year since the coronavirus started. So this city, like so many others, has its own stories of trauma and of difficulty in the community dealing with the police. But further than that and worse than that, the National Guard is now on the streets. There's this dusk till dawn curfew, but there's now rumors of things like martial law because they just cannot seem to get the violence under control. Again, somebody died in the parking lot behind me. We'll see what tonight brings, but the protests have already started. It's only 9 in the morning here, Stephanie.
Since you see and understand some of the history and recent events, watch this video of a local sheriff taking a stand with protesters.
Not all of the action around the country has been destructive. There have been plenty of instances in which regular folks have stepped up to protect businesses, stop looting, and even come to the aid of police officers. And more than once around the country, law enforcement made clear they sympathize with the protesters.
Across the nation, we're seeing police officers doing what they can to ease the tension, offering gestures of reconciliation. After this remarkable moment outside a police station in Des Moines, the protesters walked away peacefully. We spoke to Flint, Michigan Sheriff Chris Swanson, who has become a symbol of healing after he spontaneously laid down his riot gear.
I took my helmet off and laid the batons down. I want to make this a parade, not a protest.
You just saw tension just get relieved, and the righteous anger and the protest of people was legitimized because somebody listened to what they said.
We're seeing acts of courage from some protesters. In Louisville, these men linked arms to protect a police officer who got separated from his squad. Outnumbered and surrounded, you can see the concern on his face, but he's shielded until he can get to safety. This guy was breaking chunks out of a sidewalk in the nation's capital when protesters turned on him and handed him over to the cops. And in Los Angeles,
this is not a black woman who's put in Black Lives Matter.
She tried to stop 2 women from defacing a Starbucks.
Don't spray stuff on here when they gonna blame black people for this, and black people didn't do it.
Standing up for what's right as chaos grips the nation.